of a very real prospect of finally converging toward respectful, code and peaceful consensus on the matter of BBI related, the prospect of reggae becoming Jerusalem. Emphasizing our long-held and firm-maintained position that we must avoid contentious, win-lose, divisive, or acrimonious referendum that hold the potential to breed hate, ethnic polarization, and conflicts, cognizant that we are in the midst of the deadly pandemic that has ravaged our country, aware of a struggling economy which is on the verge of full-scale collapse.
In furtherance of the above, we have three proposals to make. First, even with the post-Bomas gains and the improvement to the document, these outstanding issues require attention, and we should build the necessary consensus to further enrich the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, especially because we have to acknowledge certain realities, including the fact that the people of Kenya have voiced strong concern about the prudence of a bloated government. Second, and imperatively, the BBI recommendation do not propose a constitutional replacement through the repeal and promulgation, but rather an amendment of various discrete provisions. This calls into question the appropriateness of framing the referendum as a single question plebiscite when multiple issues must be considered. A multiple choice referendum is clearly more appropriate and as provided for in the current bill before Parliament, the referendum bill by the COIC Chair, Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, we feel we should take that route. Third, we must consider the circumstance which we find ourselves as a country. We are in the midst of a deadly pandemic that has ravaged our country, killing close to 1,500 Kenyans, including our frontline health workers, infecting nearly 100,000 Kenyans, and affecting the livelihood of millions of others, straining public health sector, and instigating an economic and a financial meltdown.
A number of issues raised by various stakeholders, including ourselves, remain outstanding and are yet to be conclusively and exhaustively addressed. The idea of accountability for all government organs is a strongly held tenet of democracy. The proposal on a judicial ombudsman speaks to the issue of accountability of judicial officers. We, however, strongly believe that judicial independence matters and must never be undermined, even if only in perception. We submit, therefore, that there still remain room for the Ombudsman's appointment mechanism to be reviewed and agreed upon, and for the appointment of the Ombudsman by the Judicial Service Commission or the Chief Justice will be more consistent with the principles of judicial independence than appointment by the executive, which runs contrary to the principles of separation of powers.
Our position is as follows. We care far too much for our country and fellow Kenyans to reduce this important exercise to a question of yes and no. Not just because it is premature and simplistic, but because there is real progress towards consensus that we need to resolve outstanding issues inclusively, exhaustively, and conclusively. Democracy provides us with infinite opportunity for deliberative consensus building. It is how great societies are built. It is how all Kenyans, in their great diversity, come together to make a beautiful future for themselves and for future generations. It is worth stating time without number that consensus is the right thing to do and the right way to go. We must therefore never tire or relent or give up doing the right thing. Consensus entails both speaking and listening. We must listen to one another. The time is always right for consensus building. Therefore, we submit once more that it is never too late to do the right thing. Every time is consensus time. We have been asked what we mean by consensus. The consensus we seek and this country needs is in relation to content, process, and timing. In short, we must agree on the what, the how, and when. The consensus is to align the process with its founding objectives and bring it closer to the dreams and aspirations of Kenyans. By content, we mean we resolve outstanding issues through consensus, including issues on judicial independence, bloated government and legislature, equity, and equality in representation and affirmative action, among others. By process, we mean providing a multiple choice plebiscite to prevent the rejection of good ideas. By timing, we mean we should hold the referendum in 2022 together with the general election in order to save costs and direct available resources to mitigating the effects of COVID-19.